Good morning, you beautiful people. We are here in El Paso, Texas, Bobtail, and I'm gonna go buy some crap in Family Dollar because I don't have any clothes. And I'm a little bit stinky and I need to go take a shower, but I can't shower yet, but I can at least buy some clean clothes. So, let's go. All right, I got some beef jerky. Actually, I got a lot of beef jerky. We'll see how long it lasts. But we are Bobtail here in El Paso. Let me get my key so I can open the truck. All right, let's go. Well, the trailer's still not done. We're still waiting here in El Paso. Yeah. The guy told me to go back to sleep, but an hour ago he said the trailer would be ready in an hour. So, I don't know. Hopefully they hurry because I have my other load I got to go pick up to get home. It smells kind of funky over here. Oh well. Alright, I took a little nap. I did some paperwork on my laptop. I invoiced a couple loads. I need to find a load for one of my drivers that's in Washington. His load just got delayed, so I'm gonna try and find him a different load. So anyways, but the guy in the guard shack told me 20 minutes. I've now been here for 4.5 hours, so that'll be 5 hours total. And I called TQL. They said we're good for detention, so we're on detention time now. But holy cow, it's hot here. My truck's saying it's 97 degrees. I don't know if that's true or not, but it is pretty hot outside. So I started the truck and I'm getting it cold. Don't you love that when you wake up from a nap and you're all like, you're not sweaty, but you're like a little bit sticky because you were too hot when you were sleeping? Yeah, that's what just happened to me. So I'm anxious to get home. I want to get home. Let's get moving. Come on. I'll get in there and I'll unload the trailer myself. They'll be done in a sec. So I don't have to cancel my load home. I'll be able to still get it, but Alright, the trailer's empty, but now they're telling me I gotta go across the street and get a lightweight. Let me straighten this once. There's that nice old Freightliner. Is that a Columbia? I believe that's a Columbia. I think they look cool, but my dad doesn't think so, so I don't know. I love the look of the old Freightliner classics. So we're pulling out of this yard. Let's see if I can, just watching my trailer. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. And then I'm going straight to this metal yard. I think that's what he was saying. The guy didn't really speak very good English, which is okay because I don't really speak Spanish. But he's saying go to the stop sign, turn right, and they have a scale. Sometimes it's free, sometimes it's not. That's what he said. So, I don't know. Let's see if I can even go down this road. Oh yeah. Take this way. The scale right there. Let's put my hazards on. I don't know how you're supposed to get on the scale. Okay. Back up into the yard behind. Oh shit, I can't even make that turn. Oh, great. Okay, that should be good. Let's see if that was enough. Okay, get that straight. This is a scrapyard. I really don't want to get any nails. Yeesh. That should be enough. Go forward, back up. Fun little extortion. Don't trust Coyote Go. Do not trust the Coyote Go app.
At the light, turn right onto North Campbell Street.
To frickin' downtown El Paso. I thought I was picking up in an apartment building. Oh, this is not fun. But I get some pretty good views though. That's kind of cool. Downtown El Paso. I would be recording more, but I have no idea where I'm supposed to turn. I've been driving around in circles on these little streets, going slow. So, anyways. Fun. Don't trust the Coyote Go app. It never knows where you're supposed to go. Actually punch in the address. All right, we're finally getting back on the freeway. So there's downtown, and just on the other side of downtown is Mexico. Bye, Mexico. I'm going back home. So there's the exit right there. Don't miss it. That goes to Mexico.
Continue for 1.5 miles.
That would not have been a good day if I went through the port, that I had to turn around. And not like the typical port adventure, I mean border crossing port. I just love the way that they decorate these spaghetti bowls in El Paso with the turquoise, the bright turquoise and orange colors. It just makes it look so much cooler in the desert. Okay, I am now here. Coyote said that I was hauling chalk, but I think I'm hauling lumber. Am I an idiot, or is there some kind of lumber that's called chalk? I don't know. All right, we got the paperwork and we're headed out. This does say that we are 42,000 pounds, so it's not great, but we'll see. We'll go way out somewhere. So this tire is holding, which is good. I aired it up this morning. Nice. What does that say? Does that say a weight on it? Nope. All right, kick these tires, close the door, and then let's go. All right, we are driving. We're about 150 miles. My hat feels funny. We're about 150 miles south of Albuquerque, New Mexico, going north on I-25. Man, how do people live out here? This is a freaking desert, man. Yeah. Of course, I say that, and I live in a desert. Utah's a desert as well. But anyways, yeah, things are going good. I was able to manipulate my logs from yesterday in my last YouTube video. So I've got enough hours that I could drive for another 8 hours, but I'm a little bit tired because I'm only running on 4 hours of sleep right now. So I'm going up to Los Lunas, I believe, Los Lunas. There's a Maverick truck stop up there, and I'm going to get some diesel there and kind of refresh. getting an inspection, but I do have the temporary registration taped on the window of this truck still, so I don't even have plates for this truck still. Anywho, yeah. So I was really careful to make sure I edited my logs in a way that looked good. So I still have enough hours. Not that I would recommend you do that, but I've already talked about how I feel about e-logs on this channel before. How I don't really particularly like e-logs, but I know that now that I've learned about them, I know that it's a necessary part of trucking. So, anyways, yeah, I did want to say though, if you guys have questions or comments about trucking or something, you know, I'm still learning as well. And I've said it before in other videos. I didn't go to a trucking school. I never had a trainer. You know, my background is as an operator, driving equipment, excavators. So, you know, I have a little bit of basic understanding on machinery and how equipment runs. But there's a lot of things in trucking I still don't know. Even though I've been learning the last 5 years, I still, you know, I still didn't have a proper training. So I still say things wrong. I still have things that come up that I really don't understand. And e-logs was one of those things because, you know, I kind of want to. I'll tell a little bit of a story about this. So when we first started driving over the road, we started driving to Washington, and it was peak 2020, 2021. You know, the pandemic or whatever. That's when we really started getting into over the road because we couldn't get. You know, we already had trucks. We already had dump trucks. I had the background of dump trucks and hauling the garbage trailers, which we, you know, that's our main run is hauling the refuse garbage trailers. And but when we first started hauling over the road, it was kind of like out of necessity that we started hauling over the road. And to be honest, no one really showed me what to do. We just went out and we bought some sleeper trucks and we just started going over the road. I didn't know anything about e-logs, hours of service. I didn't know how long you could drive for. We had freight bills that we used for the local drivers in Utah because you're exempted if you stay in state lines, but you still have to fill out a form tracking your hours as a driver. That was a pretty big bump, knocked my camera over. Sorry it's bouncing, I'm still driving right now. But the first couple times that we started hauling cardboard and plastic bottles up to Washington and California, I didn't have an e-log. I was literally driving without an e-log because I didn't know what the rules were. We just bought some sleeper trucks and started going over the road, and we literally learned everything just by doing it. And a lot of times it's because I'm getting in trouble at the port of entry because I don't have these things. And you kind of got to have a little bit of a silver tongue, you know, you be good and calm and respectable and come at it from a place of humbly trying to learn. You know, if a DOT cop is trying to teach you something, you got to be respectful to them. Anyways, funny story, we first started hauling cardboard up to eastern Washington. There's a couple paper mills in the area, and also Oregon, Springville, Oregon, Eugene, Oregon. There's some paper mills over there. We started hauling our own cardboard over that way out of necessity because there was a driver shortage supposedly, which there was just an increased demand. It wasn't there was a shortage. It was just a surge in product that needed to be moved as everyone was in the pandemic at home. But we started hauling, and there was several times that I took loads up to Spokane, Washington and back without stopping to take a 10-hour reset. And I was able to get away with it because, well, it's the pandemic. All the ports were closed. Like literally, I don't know if you guys remember that, in 2020 and 2021, when everyone was scared of coronavirus, all the port of entries were closed. So I really didn't have a problem driving up to Spokane and back. Nobody was going to stop me unless I got in an accident and they asked me how long I've been driving for, which that never happened. I never got in an accident. But I literally, there was several times that I drove up to Spokane, Washington and back, which is about a 1,400 mile trip for me from our home yard in Utah. I did that in one day without stopping, and I thought that was normal. You know, it wasn't until like a year into driving over the road that I got pulled into the port, and the guy's like, "Hey, do you have a log for how long you've been driving?" And I was like, "Oh, I've got this freight bill. I wrote down when I started and when I left." And the guy's like, "That doesn't work because you're going over state lines, and this is a 2020 Peterbilt. You need to have an e-log." And I'm like, "What's an e-log?" And then he explained it to me. You have to have a plug-in, you have to be registered with your company and have an administrator, and they check your logs and your phone, or you gotta have a tablet that connects. And I was like, whoa, this is a thing? You actually have a computer that tells you when to stop and tells you when you're supposed to sleep, you know? This was all foreign to me, and I feel really dumb now because now I understand it, and like, it's really hard to go from Utah to Spokane, Washington in one way alone in a full shift, let alone coming all the way home. And to me, that was just normal, you know? So anyways, if things like that, you know, I don't want to say that I'm a cowboy trucker or an outlaw trucker, because I really don't think I am. I'm just blindly ignorant because nobody taught me these things. Nobody showed me these things. And, you know, if you guys are in the same boat and you would want, sorry, I hope this camera doesn't, I might have to re-record this whole clip. Darn, I'll watch it and I'll see how bumpy it is. These roads in Albuquerque are not great. But if you guys want to, you know, if you want to know more about trucking, and I'm more than willing to talk about specific topics if people are interested in it, or you want to know about this, I'm more than willing to make a video on that topic and show what I've learned. Or if, on the other end, if I'm an idiot and I'm saying something totally wrong, please comment and tell me how I'm wrong, because I'm still learning more than anybody else out here. Because everything I know, I've learned from being told, "Hey, you're doing that wrong," by a DOT officer or by somebody on YouTube. Nobody showed me how to do any of this. I'm out here winging it on my own. So, anyways, my windshield is very dirty. So we are going to stop at Maverick. I think I'm 30 miles away from the Maverick in Los Lunas. Get some fuel, get some, well, I didn't really eat lunch, so we'll get some dinner and wipe my windshield down and then find a rest stop to sleep for the night. That guy's going pretty fast. Anyways, driving through the desert. Fun, fun, fun. It's not a bad gas price. That's a lot cleaner. Oh yeah. I'm not sure what's going on here, but there is miles and miles. Oh, sorry, my window looks bad. Wipe that off really fast. And that really didn't do anything. Okay. So, I was looking on the Google Maps, and apparently I think there's a wreck in Albuquerque, so all of I-40 eastbound is closed, and so there's this big line of people that are trying to get around that. But we're going west, so I'm in the clear. No, that sun's really bright. I am so sorry. Nice sticks. Alright guys, we are at the Sky City Casino. That's where we're at. So I got some shirts and the toothbrush and stuff. They didn't have any pants. So tomorrow I'm gonna try and stop somewhere and get some pants. But we are parked here. I love parking at casinos on the Indian reservations. They're always so nice. Oh, good morning, world. Nice. I left the windows down and now I'm freezing. Holy crap. I'm an idiot. Nah, I slept amazing. All right, let's go get some breakfast. Nice. They bring it right to your table if you order it on the app. Good morning. Tires look good. Good morning. We are here at the Sky City Casino Hotel off I-40 in New Mexico. Had a good morning. I booked 3 loads when I was eating breakfast at the McDonald's in the truck stop. Man, this is a nice place. I don't mind it too bad. So anyways, getting ready to go. I wanted to talk about why brokers are necessary, like freight brokers. And I know a lot of drivers right now are doing the blame game, and all the drivers on Facebook and my Facebook groups, they're all saying death to brokers, you know, brokers are scam artists. And you know, I'm not gonna say that there aren't any bloodthirsty, you know, backwards, lawless brokers out there that are pretty scummy. They definitely exist. However, there's a reason that brokers exist, and let me tell you why. I still think that having dedicated accounts are better. Having personal relationships with the shipper and having dedicated accounts are better than using load brokers all the time. However, there are a lot of benefits that come with hauling off the spot market from trusted freight brokers that are registered by motor carrier. Now my experience in the beginning, before I was hauling with freight brokers, we completely were 100% dedicated, hauling for direct to customers, and you know, that still works better because the payout is higher. However, there's a lot of things you're not guaranteed if you're shipping for if you're shipping directly for the customer. First thing is guarantee of payment. So if a broker is registered with FMSCSA and they have to have a $75,000 bond. So if they don't pay you, you can sue their bond, which I've had to do 3 times now because brokers went out of business. And you have guarantee payment of your shipment if you go through a freight broker. That is a real freight broker, not a scummy freight broker, and not a dispatcher, because dispatchers sometimes can be scummy as well. But I'm talking going through a registered DOT FMSCSA broker. You have guaranteed payment, and the communication aspect is there. The load canceling is there. If the shipper cancels the load on you, then the broker has to pay you a TONU for your time to wait for the load to you know, help you find your next load. So there is a lot of you know, good things that come with that. So you know, I think about, there's a lot of brokers right now that aren't doing so hot, even with the market the way that it is. There's this one brokerage that we haul pretty regularly with. This is gonna sound really bad. The first one had it. You always try and make relationships with the agents so that they know you. They call you first when this load comes up. They know what lanes you run. They're not idiots. They're not just cold calling you all the time. They say, hey, I know you do this load a lot. Here's this. So there was this one agent through this. It's a pretty big brokerage, by the way. So there was this one agent. I was doing tons and tons and tons of loads with him, and I was actually doing them at a discounted rate because I needed to get to my dedicated lane, and I was just doing his loads all the time. And anyways, well, I didn't hear from him. I kept sending him emails for like 3 weeks, no response. Finally, I get a call from their office number in Chicago, and this guy answers and says, hey, your old buddy Grant got let go on our last round of layoffs, but I still have these loads if you're interested. And he actually gave them to me for more than I was taking them for the other agent, Grant. I'm like, okay, great. So I started taking those loads for about a month. We were doing these loads, and same thing happened. He stopped responding to my emails, and eventually I call the office and somebody else answers, and they say, oh yeah, Nate just got let go on our last round of layoffs. I'm now the one on this account. Do you want this load? This is the rate you were doing before. I can stay with that load route. So, you know, there's a lot of brokerages that are hurting right now. And anyways, it's because they move shipments in bulk, not by price. So you think about it, because there's a shortage of freight being hauled, even though they may be making $200, $300 more per load that they sell, they're selling less of those loads. So great, you're making whatever your markup is on this one load, but if you're only moving 2 loads a day as opposed to what you normally would be 5, you're still losing money. So anyways, that is why I like to work with freight brokers, because they do have the guaranteed payment, even though you're getting paid less to haul. Because if you're hauling for a dedicated account or whatever, you have this customer relationship with a smaller company, and they go bankrupt amid the smaller company that you're hauling for, and they go bankrupt and they owe you a lot of money, because credit wise sometimes they'll lag behind 1, 2, 3 months, and they go bankrupt. Depending on what type of bankruptcy, you probably won't get paid for any of it. If you're owed tens, hundreds of thousands of dollars to this big company and they go belly up, you're screwed as a supplier to them, because the bankruptcy will push you off last until their assets have been paid off in the bankruptcy. So anyways, just something to think about. I know there's a lot of scummy brokers out there, but there's a reason they exist, because we work in the trucking market, which is a very disconnected market, and there's trucks everywhere that need connections to shippers, and it's not easy to have, especially if you're a single owner operator or a small fleet owner. It's not easy to maintain large freight contracts, and on top of that, your big freight contracts are probably going to just be one way. So somehow you got to get a load home, and it's hard to coordinate if you have 2 dedicated lanes together going one way and then coming home. So anyways, that's what I would say. You know, you just got to treat brokers as what they are. They don't have feelings. They just have shipments they need to move for a certain price, and at least you have guaranteed payment if they are bonded. So that's what I would say. I still prefer dedicated lanes, but I don't like it when I see brokers yelling death to, or when I see truck drivers yelling death to brokers, break up brokers, destroy brokers. They don't need to exist. And the reality is they do need to exist, because there are too many shipments for not enough trucks, at least coordinated at the perfect locations all the time. So there is a reason for brokers, and I don't like it when truck drivers are oblivious to the fact that brokers exist for a reason. So that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Stay safe, guys.